you're actually caught snooping, you may be headed for a breakup, right?
Lots
of relationships, people looking to get out of them. So you're going to give us some tips today on how to break up a little easier, make the blow a little easier for people, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And breaking up is hard to do, as the song goes.
Right.
But staying in a relationship that isn't good is even more difficult. And I think that so many people stay in relationships way past their use-by date. And, you know, breaking up just gets harder and harder. But it doesn't just take courage to break up well, it also takes some skills and a bit of finesse. And I think the first thing that really you need to think about if you're thinking about having a breaking up is, you know, why are you breaking up? What's the highest intention you have for yourself and even for the other person? Because, you know, if the relationship's really not working for you, then it's not good for them either. And I think going in to break up with someone, knowing that, you know what, this is ultimately in the best interests of both of us is a really important kind of headspace to be in.
Let's talk about the method of breaking up then, because these days everyone's using their cell phones, they're texting, they're going on Facebook, and a lot of people have admitted to breaking up online because they don't have the courage to do it.
It's a cop-out and it's cowardly. And wasn't it one of the Jonas Brothers who did that to Taylor Swift? You know, I just think it's really cowardly and, you know, you've got no backbone. I mean, it's okay for 12-year-olds. You expect it of a 12-year-old text, I'm sorry you dumped. But come on, we're grown-ups and the other person deserves better.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I hate to interrupt you, but in your book you talk about finding your courage, really being who you are and not trying to be someone else. So let's say you don't have the guts to do this in person. It's easier for you to do it online, and it's a nice way of saying it online. How do you get the courage then to do this in person? It may be a different outcome if you do it in person.
Yeah, well, you know, if you're really clear about why you're doing it, it should still be the same outcome. You break up. You know, and I think people need to really think about what does the other person deserve? If you have any respect for them whatsoever, and frankly, I think if you have any integrity, you know, you're not going to do like the text or the email. You're actually going to at least do a phone call.
Just man up and do it, right?
Man up and do it.
Because do it over text or email.
I just think you do yourself a disservice as much as you do that for them. But also, don't descend to throwing stones. You know, well, if you had done that, and if you had have called me more, if you had, you know,
so don't point out all the things they did wrong.
You know what? What purpose is it serving? Unless you can see a really positive purpose for saying something, don't say it. You know, this just isn't working for me.
Is there ever a reason for you to still be able to be friends with your ex a lot? We had this discussion last weekend with some guy friends of mine, and they said it's fine with me. We're just friends. But do you think you should make a clean break?
Well, you know, I think it does depend. But I think this on again, off again. Let's catch up for dinner next week, and dinner turns into back for drinks at that. You know, I think that just prolongs the pain. I think a clear break is a really good way to do it. But I think also just be future focused. Don't get stuck in the past. I wish it had been this. I wish it had been that. It is as it is. Learn whatever lessons there were, because every relationship, even the toughest ones, have got great lessons. And then move on.
Everyone will move on eventually. Thank you.
Just don't go snooping in their emails. Thank you very much, Margie. Once again, Margie's book is called Find Your Courage. It is fantastic. I've read it twice. Go pick it up.